Carbon dioxide, CO2. Note its structure. One carbon atom between two oxygen atoms account for its powerful greenhouse effect, in part. It remains in the atmosphere for 200 to 300 years, and some remains for over 1,000 years. H2O, water vapor in the atmosphere, also has a powerful greenhouse, but it remains for 1 to 2 weeks at most. From Smoke and Fumes, find the hyperlink in the description box below. In 1968, Stanford Reseach Institute, SRI, scientists Elmer Robinson and R.C. Robbins produced a final report to the American Petroleum Institute, API, on SRI's research in the sources, abundance, and fate of gaseous pollutants in the atmosphere. They reserved their starkest warnings to industry leaders for carbon dioxide. Robinson observed that, among the pollutants reviewed, carbon dioxide is the only air pollutant which has been proven to be global importance to man's environment on the basis of a long period of scientific investigation. Summarizing the findings of the President's Science Advisory Council, Robinson noted that CO2 emissions from fossil fuels were outstripping the natural CO2 removal processes that keep the atmosphere in equilibrium. He noted that the speed of CO2 accumulation would depend on fossil fuel consumption and projected that, on then-present trends, atmospheric CO2 could reach 400 parts per million by 2000, and that exploiting all then-recoverable fossil fuel would lead to concentrations of 830 parts per million. The report warned that rising CO2 would result in increases in temperature at the Earth's surface, and that significant temperature increase could lead to melting ice caps, rising seas, and potentially serious environmental damage worldwide. It noted that, even if Antarctic ice caps took 1,000 years to melt, this would mean sea level rises of 4 feet per 10 years, 100 times greater than observed changes. Importantly, SRI acknowledged that of the various sources proposed for rising atmospheric CO2, none seems to fit the presently observed situation as well as the fossil fuel emanation theory. Noting uncertainties about whether particulate pollution would offset some of this warming, SRI warned, "There seems to be no doubt that the potential damage to our environment could be severe." The industry's own consulting scientists then confirmed that the most urgent research need was into technologies that could bring CO2 emissions under control.